Alright, I've got my next course over here, which is course 212, and it's how to study. I need you to understand that I'm one of the best in the world in my heart. I realize I'm the best in the world in my heart, and I realize that when I study, I'm really studying quickly. I realize that I have to learn and learn to grow. I have to understand that when I learn and study, I read 35 hours in a day. I realize that is really 10 hours of knowledge. I do it in 3.5 times speed. I realize that when I read audiobooks, I'm reading 3.5 times faster than I do. I realize that when I get 1 hour of information, in 1 hour of today's world, I realize I get 3.5 hours of information because I read faster than I do. I need to understand I'm reading faster. I'm also learning to study about myself every single day. I'm making sure that I know myself more. Thank you very much. You have to understand yourself more and more throughout time, because guess what? That's called studying. You have to study something. You have to be a researcher. You have to be a scientist. Or else you have to be a scientist about yourself. Or else you have to grow yourself. You have to understand that life is a science. You have to understand that life is research. You have to research everything. You have to go into it. You have to do some biology today. You have to dissect the information. You have to cut up the information. You have to go and spread the information here. You have to put some paragraphs over here. You have to understand you go and write a book. You go and write some audio materials today. You go and write some beautiful aspects of your life into paper and video and audio. And you understand that you're studying more and more throughout life. And you're also lifting yourself throughout time. You have to understand that those people who understand how to study every single day are the ones reading. I promise you that reading is successful. I promise you those people who can read can also make sure they can lead. I promise you readers are leaders. I promise you that those people who have more reading skills are the ones who have more health. And health is wealth. You have to understand that those people who can study every single day are the ones who are really accomplishing more through writing. I promise you I write so much in my day. I promise you that I've got 2 years of journaling. I promise you I make sure to write my life around every single day, because guess what? You have to. You have to understand. You have to, so you can understand your life much greater. I understand that I always write for myself. I realize I write for myself for something greater, because when I write, I understand who I am much more. I understand I become more aware through writing, and that's why I can communicate so excellently today. Although I have to better my communication skills. So to study is also to do more communication skills, and it's also to do more of what you need to do to grow. You have to understand, you have to learn how to study today. You have to learn how to do business. You have to learn how to look greater. You have to learn about everything, because that's how you study. You study through reading, you study through audio materials, you study through being a university and giving your own university. I've got my own university inside my Instagram over here. You understand that I've got over 300 hours of courses, because guess what? I have to go and do the information that I read. I have to make sure I'm reading and always uplifting while I read. I always have to make sure I'm doing something that's really positive. I have to make sure I'm doing something that's going to improve myself. I have to make sure I'm doing something from the heart. So I'll make sure to read and do some audio work today that's going to help me to improve. I can do some freedom of speech. Would you like a microphone? I thank you. I never got sacked anywhere. I never sacked myself. I thank you very much. I thank you. You're very funny. I thank you very much. I thank you very much. I hope you still love your life. I hope that you still grow. I thank you very much. You're very beautiful. I thank you. I realize that no matter what, you're always making sure that you are hoping for people in terms of something greater. And you should understand that you always give some compliments in terms of hope. You always make sure that you're studying in some type of way. You're making sure you're never embarrassed to be in front of a camera. You make sure that when paparazzi's on you, you're going to do some nice, beautiful uplifting today. You're going to make sure that they can record you and do all the further camera stuff, and you can just put your public speaking requirements in. You have to understand it's really about making sure that you're never entertaining, although you're just growing with yourself, making sure that you're doing something amazing. You have to understand that you never ever cause crime, because guess what? When you're causing crime, you'll never learn to study like that. You have to understand it's never about causing crime. You have to understand it's about positivity today. You have to understand you have to go study what crime is. You have to understand to study everything. You have to understand that Brian Tracy says you must learn 1% of each subject in life. I promise you that one subject in life can change your life. I promise you that change your life today means improve yourself. I promise you need to improve yourself in order to learn how to study today. I promise you to study today means to grow. You have to grow and uplift others, and you have to do it in front of their faces too. You have to be a person who understands that you give people a chance. You have to give more chances, because then you'll give yourself more chances. I promise you that when other people are opening your doors, I promise you that means you have to take more responsibility. You have to do more responsibility in life, and you never take responsibility, you do more responsibility. You have to understand you invest responsibility in yourself to make sure that you can go and get the education that you need to grow. You need self-education. You never need college degrees, you never need master's degrees, you never need to go to universities of life. You have to go where the books are. You have to understand to go where personal development books are and get yourself some free books, and you understand you can start today doing it for free. You can understand you can start your business today for free. I promise you, I've had no setbacks. I promise you, here I am growing. I'm still lifting myself. I promise you, there is no such thing as a setback. I promise you that you just have to grow. You just have to understand when you're growing, you never have a setback. I promise you, you just have to grow and lift yourself, because that's the only way of life. I promise you, your life must just go up. I promise you, that's the only way. I promise you, there's no such thing as up and down in life. I promise you, just have to go up, because that's how you learn and grow. You learn through communication skills. You study people. I'm learning how to study people right now. You have to understand, I'm learning people's difference in life. You have to understand the difference of people is between information. I realize this is the gaps between. I realize the gaps between is where the difference is. I promise you, those people who are doing much better are the ones who have more information. I promise you, they're the ones who have more attention skills also. You have to understand, attention skills means they've got the crowd's eyes. I promise you, you have to be that kind of person who understands the crowd. You have to understand yourself, you have to understand everything. You have to understand that positivity is from the inside. You have to understand, you never look outside, because outside is negative. I promise you that whatever's outside is never going to help you. I promise you, what's inside is helping you the most. I promise you that inside means, here I am, doing this public speaking speech with myself for something greater. Otherwise I do it for something greater, because I'm here to study people along the way. I'm also here to understand, I've got the next 73 years to speak all this information. I've got so much time. I've got so much time and value and skills to understand that no matter what, you also have to do the same thing and make sure that you have more time and skills and value today, because you can only find them in books, and you can read all your books today. You can read them anywhere in life. You can do it right now where you are. You have to understand that you just have to dedicate yourself to reading something. You understand that you can go and uplift yourself through some positive encouragement today. Promise, this is like an audio book. Promise, the more you have audio books in your life that are positive, such as this, promise that you'll be a positive person. You understand positivity today? You'll be that person who's always vibing. You're always vibing in life. You're always a person who has vibing in your life. You understand that communication skills is literacy. And those people who can write more can understand literacy, or else they can understand literacy much more when they're writing more. You have to understand it's really about connecting the dots, which is your information together, to understand there's a better way of life. Whereas there is always a better way of you. You understand, you always have to understand to go and grow in any way you can. Whereas that's how you study. You study one way or another. You study with how you can. You realize you do what you can today to do better. You have to understand that's a leader. Once a leader does what they can. You have to understand to make common sense today. You have to understand that nobody's going to drag you up. You have to drag yourself up. You have to understand you have to be tougher than others. You have to understand you have to be tougher than yourself. You have to understand you have to be stronger. Although it's not a competition with other people, you should understand it's a competition with yourself to be the strongest you can be. You have to be that kind of person who understands I'm never competing with other people, I'm competing with myself the most. Otherwise it's never a competition with other people. You have to understand you have to be superior with yourself. You have to be a superior with yourself. I was a meat eater for 26 years, I turned vegan. Whereas now I'm superior, I've got more energy now. I wake up inspired because guess what? I've got a passion, I've got a dream, I'm doing something that's really important. I'm doing something that's going to help you to grow. You have to understand, when I help you to grow, I help myself to grow, because that's what's important. I promise you, what's important is lifting yourself and lifting your courage every single day to understand what courage is. You have to understand how to live life much greater. You have to understand to open your mind, which is opening the gaps in your mind, which is in your heart. You have to understand your heart has the tools you need right now. Or you have to understand that you have to go and absorb information. You absorb all the information of the world with your heart. You absorb with your feelings, and you just open to the information. And each and every time you study more and more and more, I promise you, you're going to be more and more and more. I promise you that I can only do public speaking because I have the information to do so. Whereas I put myself into the situation where I can be a public speaker. I realize that many people cannot do it, although anybody can do it. You have to understand that most people talk it up and never do it. You have to do it every single day. I promise you, everybody can do what I do and much greater. You have to understand that you go be a person who's never limiting other people, you're just growing them, and that way you never limit yourself. I promise you, if you're a person who's limiting other people, you also limit yourself. So make sure you're never being limited by anybody, and make sure that anybody is never ever disturbing you. You have to understand, you never be disturbed. You be a person who's never disturbing yourself. You be a person who's never right or wrong about your communication, because it's communication that's going to help you study. You have to understand that I write so much about myself in daily life because each and every single time I write something more, like 30,000 words about my day, I study the world. I study everything about my life today. I realize anything can happen today. I have to write it into paper. I have to do something that's important. I have to do something that's really going to boost my attitude. And to boost your attitude is to have more gratitude. You have to understand, you have to have more of a reality check in your life. You have to understand it's about freedom. You have to understand it's about peak performance. You have to understand that peak performance people will study and 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 study. You have to be smarter. You have to be smarter. You have to be a person studying all the time. You have to understand to be a student of life. First, you have to be a student. You have to understand that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You have to understand the teacher will appear, who is Jesus Christ. You have to understand that Jesus Christ will appear when you are a student. You have to understand you have to follow Jesus to learn about Jesus. You have to understand you have to follow people to learn about people. You have to understand you have to follow somebody to teach you something. You have to have a mentor today. You have to understand that you can never do it yourself. You have to understand that you can do anything yourself, or that you need other people also. You have to understand you can do everything in life. You're just never a person who's limiting yourself today, because you're going to learn something today and you're going to study upon something today. You have to be that type of person who understands there's a greater way in you. You have to understand that if you're a person who's never learning and reading, I promise you, you'll always be homeless and on the street. I promise you, you have to be a person who understands to be more courageous and control yourself with pleasure. I need you to understand to never have pleasure in your life. I need you to delay pleasure. I need you to understand to never ever be a person who is always gratifying yourself. I promise you, it's not about gratifying yourself. I promise you, it's about delayed gratification, as Jesus said. I promise you, it's about looking better and having more energy, because high energy skills means high sex drive. And you should understand, I have so much more energy today because guess what? I'm never having sex. I never care about sex because Jesus never had sex. I need you to understand that sex is never important, or that it's only important when you're having kids. I promise you, that is the only time you have kids. I promise you, only have kids to have sex. You have to understand that many people are having sex and never having kids. Realize that, or they're wasting time. Realize it's never about the pleasure. Realize the pleasure is going to kill you. You have to understand that those people who have too much pleasures in life are the ones who are never studying about what their pleasure is. You have to understand, you go study upon what you're doing every single day, and do something every single day to be more important. You have to be more important daily, so you understand your heart. You have to understand that your heart must be free. You must be a person who is much greater than what you are. You have to understand, you must be greater than this world. You have to understand that whatever you are today must be better. You have to understand the only way you can do that is to study more upon how to do so. I promise you, no matter what, you have to be a person who's always encouraging other people to grow, because that way you study upon how to encourage more people when you're doing it. I promise you, whatever you're doing today is just study. I promise you that because you're a person doing this and what you're doing is because you're studying what you're doing today. You're studying where you're going. You're studying life because you're still living. You're still living life, you're still absorbing information, although you are the 5 people that you surround yourself with because of the information. I promise you, the information is who you are today. I promise you, you need to boost your information to boost your life. I want you to understand, it's important today to have a better life for yourself, for something greater. You're never doing it for yourself, because to do it for yourself is called pleasure. I never need you to do it for yourself. I need you to do it for yourself and something greater. I want you to understand, you've got to do something greater today, because that's where you need to be. You have to be somewhere greater in life. I need you to understand that I never need you like this. I need you better than like this. I need you to be better than who you are today. I need you to have a better performance today. I need you to understand to be a peak performer today. I need you to understand that whatever you are today must be better. You have to understand, you always have to realize to study something that's really going to be interesting. So be an interesting person to understand, to go and study what's interesting. You need to understand that I realize that the more interesting you are, the more you're studying life. I promise you that you have to make people your case studies. I promise you I have tens and thousands of people today walking past. I study each and every one person because I look at how they react. I realize I understand people much more when I go and communicate much more. I have to communicate much more and more and have a beautiful smile all the time, because a beautiful smile is the way to go. You have to understand you're giving people ideas, you're understanding that you're a generous person, you're understanding that to be a person exposed is to be in the spotlight. I promise you, I'm exposed, totally. You can find my whole story inside my Instagram. I promise you, here I am, because I've exposed myself. I've got nothing to hide anymore. I realize now it's time to succeed. I realize now it's time to grow my legacy. I realize now it's time to make everything happen. I realize that everything I'm happening is right now. I realize that everything that's happening is right now. You have to understand, I'm better than my words. You also have to be better than your words. You have to be better than the person you are. You have to be better than you are, because you have to be better than you are. You always have to be better than you are. You have to be a person who understands there is freedom in this life. I promise you that the freedom way is the only way. I promise you have to do something for free in order for yourself to be for free. You have to understand, to be something for free is to be in freedom and travel the world for free, because it's never the money that's the issue. You have to understand, it's also how much do you understand that there is no issue in life. I promise you, there's no issues in life. I promise you that the only limit in life is your ego. You have to understand, to overcome your ego. You have to understand the biggest critic in your life is your ego. It's in your mindset right now. You have to boost your mindset. You have to understand to go and read every single day. Be a better person today. You have to understand you have to better your attitude. You have to understand that those people who study everything in terms of attitude will also learn how to reflect upon themselves to understand that is how you improve. You have to understand, to improve is to understand how you improve every single day. You have to improve yourself. You have to understand, to improve yourself is to grow. You have to grow yourself in a way that's going to be important for you for something greater. You have to understand, it's really about making sure that you're never causing trouble. You're never causing trouble, you're always a positive person, you're looking at your nice beautiful gestures, and when you're giving gestures, you're giving kind ones, you're giving something of value. You're becoming a person of value, as Albert Einstein says. And you should understand, to be a person of value is to be worthy, and it's to be self-confident and self-righteous, which is self-awareness. You have to understand, to be selfless, which is self-righteousness. You have to understand, to be someone who's much more greater. You have to be really much more than you are. You have to understand self-love. You have to understand that self-love is key. And those people who understand to self-love themselves can study more and more throughout life and can live more. Thank you very much. Otherwise, you have to be that kind of person who understands freedom every single day. You have to be that type of freedom in your life. You have to be that type of freedom who understands there is always something greater in your life than what you're doing. You have to be that type of person who understands there is freedom in life when you're looking for it. You have to seek freedom. You have to be freedom. You have to do freedom. You always have to live in your heart. You have to understand that to be in the feelings today is to really expose yourself more. You have to expose yourself more. You have to be freedom today. You have to understand that to be freedom, you have to study freedom. You have to study time freedom. You have to understand time management. You have to read books. You have to understand that books is key to your life. I promise you, books will make you successful. I promise you, readers are winners. I promise you, readers are leaders. I promise you, thank you very much. You have to be a kind of person. I thank you very much. Well, I said, you just have to be somebody much greater. You have to be somebody that's going to really improve your life today, because nobody else is going to improve your life, I promise you. You have to improve your life. You have to take action every single day to improve your life by investing action. You have to invest more in yourself. You have to do more than who you are. You have to do much more than what you are doing today to make sure that you're more successful. You have to understand that you have to go the way you've never been. You have to understand to go in the spotlight too. You have to do that for yourself. You have to do it for something greater. You have to understand that when you're number one in your heart, you're number one with Jesus Christ. And you understand you have to do something greater. You have to be greater. You have to live greater. You have to look much greater than you are. You have to be a vegan. You have to be a vegan. You have to understand that I'm vegan. I say veganism because I have so much energy. I am so superior to myself. I'm not competing with anybody else. Otherwise, I'm making sure, no matter what, everybody understands that to lose weight, is to become a vegan. I've never met a fat vegan in my life. I've never met a fat vegan in my life. I'm vegan now. Otherwise, I've lost 47 kilos. I know nothing. I know nothing about life. Although, guess what? Here I am in front of an audience and I'm teaching. I'm teaching something. I'm teaching something for nothing. Otherwise, most people are doing nothing for something. Otherwise, they need handouts. Otherwise, I never need a handout. I just need to give you some information. I need to give you some love. I need to give you some love. And you understand that I never do it for money. I do it for freedom. I do it for something greater than I am. I do it for something that I envision for myself to be, which is something greater each and every day. Because how do I get there? I study how to grow. I study how to be a life coach more and more and more. So I understand to be something greater in my communication all the time. Because that's what's going to make me grow. I study communication skills, and here I am as a public speaker. I have to understand. Thank you very much. You have to be that kind of person who understands there's always a greater way. Whereas the greater way is you today. You have to be greatness. You have to understand there's greatness in you today. You have to understand that greatness is you. You have to understand that greatness is you. You have to understand that greatness is you today. You have to understand that you go and study greatness more and more and more, you'll be more greatness. I promise you it's worth it. I promise you it's worth it. I promise you have to encourage ourselves. I promise you have to really lift. You have to understand that nobody's going to lift you. You have to understand you have to lift yourself much more. You have to lift yourself. I promise you I can give you the ideas. You have to lift yourself too. I'm lifting you. I'm lifting myself. I'm lifting everybody. Although you have to understand that no matter what, you will lift yourself the most throughout life. I promise you. I can give you the information to lift. You have to lift yourself. I promise you that you will lift yourself more than I can lift you. I promise you have to understand that you can change more with yourself than I can change you. You have to understand. You have to go and apply the information I'm giving you. You have to understand that information is key to change. And those people who change are the ones who are gratitude. And gratitude is really learning and studying and reading and making sure you're a leader every single day. You're making sure that you're doing something of boosting your attitude every single day. You're boosting and you're having a reality check all the time. You have to be self-evaluation all the time. Understand, you have to self-reflect. You have to do it in your journal. I have a journal like Anne Frank. Or does that she has a journal from World War I about her life. I do the same thing every day. I write a date and I just do it every day. Otherwise, no matter what, I'm always a person growing. I'm always a person lifting. I'm always a person doing more. I'm always lifting and encouraging. I have to encourage and I have to have a better attitude. I have to have always something better in my life. I always have to be a smart ass in life. I have to be a smart ass so I can really be smarter. I understand that smartness is key. For us, I'd rather be smarter than stupid. I'd rather be as smart want to be a smartass, then anything lower than that. I need you to understand that whatever you're doing today must be better. I need you to understand there's always something that you can study today that's going to help your relationship. The most important relationship with your life is you. You have to understand it's really in your life that you understand there's something in you that has to grow. You have to understand there's something in you that has to really ambush to grow. You have to ambush to grow in a way that's going to help you to grow. You understand? There's always much more courage that you can give. You can always give some new way of lifestyle. Thank you very much. I understand that each and every single time you're doing something more positive, you're going to be lifting. You're going to do something very inspirational. Thank you very much. You have to be something more and more and more and more and more throughout life. You have to be more. You have to always look up. Looking up and your thumbs up. You're always making sure you have to lift. You have to always understand more. You have to be greater. You have to do something that's really going to be accepting. You have to understand to accept people is to forgive. And to forgive is to grow. You have to grow yourself. You have to understand. You have to push yourself to grow. You have to write ideas down. I promise you that when you're writing ideas down, I promise you John C. Maxwell says, write your ideas down. I'm writing my ideas down right now. I'm writing them in a video. I promise you I'm writing my ideas down now. I promise you I'm learning from it. I promise you, since I'm writing my ideas down, I'm learning from my public speaking and I'm learning from the crowd around me. I realize that is the key. I'm writing always something down. I'm writing something down on video. I'm writing something down via audio. I'm writing something down via my journal. I'm writing something down via my quote books. You understand? I've got quote books. I've got over 25,000 quotes you can go and read. I realize that all ideas. I realize you need more ideas to be more successful. I realize that your successful business is your face. You have to brand your face. You have to put your face out there. You have to put your face in camera too. You have to understand, to be something more, you have to be more and more and more. Your name is your legacy, so make your legacy much more than it is. You have to understand you deserve a greater legacy. You have to give it. You have to give it. You have to give greatness to be greatness. You have to give some ideas today. You give some positive scenarios every single day, which are positive ideas for the next 73 years. I promise you will be greatness and greatness and greatness throughout life. You have to be more throughout life. You have to be encouraging. You have to grow. You have to grow today. 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 You have to understand it's about growth today, and it's never a race against other people. I promise you it's a race against yourself in a way that you're growing. You have to understand you're never against yourself either. You're just making sure you're growing. You have to understand that's the only way. I promise you the only way is freedom. Your freedom today, because guess what? It's never about the money. I need you to be kinder with your information. I need you to understand that it's about attitude. I need you to understand that those people who have more of an attitude are the ones who are doing something more to help their attitude lift. You have to lift yourself. You have to grow. You have to grow yourself each and every single day. You have to understand that I speak for 3 hours every single day on the street. And guess what? I love it because I get all the attention that I need. And guess what? I'm always growing because that's what I need even more. I just need more and more throughout life. I have to give more to receive more. I have to be on the street for 3 hours to give more information, to get some minds together, so that I understand that it's about something greater today, which is doing a video performance anyway. I never need people to be in my life. I just have to understand I have to grow myself today. Otherwise the people are going to be here anyway. Otherwise I just need something greater in life. I need to give you some information today to grow. I realize when I give you information to grow today, I will grow. That's the whole point I'm here for. I'm here for something greater. I'm here to grow today. I'm here to be a better version of myself. I'm here to do something greater because in 10 years' time, I'll be traveling the world. I'll be going everywhere. I'll be going everywhere because I'm doing public speaking now. I'm doing public speaking. I'll be doing it for the rest of my life. I'll be traveling the world for free. I'll be traveling everywhere for free because each and every single day, I'm in front of the crowd. I'm in front of the crowd. I'm in front of people's faces. I'll travel the world for free now because I'm giving so much courses for free. I've got over 350 hours of video courses. I promise you I've got over 25,000 quotes. I've got over 2 years of journaling. I'll be traveling over the next 73 years for free everywhere because guess what? I'm giving my information for free. I'm giving everything for free. I'm giving it all for free because guess what? I'm never selling myself for money. I'm doing something that's really important for my life, which is studying my life every single day. I study people. I make people my case studies. I study you too. I study everybody. I look at you and I study you. I study the reaction. I study how you walk. I study how you talk. I study about what you're wearing today. I understand your reactions. I understand that is body language. I study people's body language all the time. I study how people are. I study how people look because I have to learn how to study and I can be in front of people to learn how to study people. I can see who people are. I can see how they react. I can see how to be much better with my reaction because I see how other people's reactions are. I understand. I have to grow. I have to grow and be much more. Or as Tony Robbins says, study people. And here I am studying people because that's how I study. I study while I do it. I do it and I learn as I do. I do and learn as I go. I do and learn as I travel. I do and learn as I grow and speak and public speak every single day to be more successful because I have a dream. I have a dream because I means I'm better than yesterday. I need to be better than yesterday. I need to understand I have a dream. I have a dream today to make sure that the world is better. I mean, which world? I mean, my world must be better today. I must be better so I can better you. I must be in front of an audience so I can lift you. You have to understand that is the whole point. Because when I lift you, I lift myself. I mean, when you don't need help from me, you can go find help from somebody else. Because guess what? Here I am doing something for nothing. I'm giving you some ideas today. I'm lifting myself in the process. I don't care about anything other than growth. I just grow. I make sure I'm growing. And that way I care about the most in life. I care about something that's much greater. Thank you very much. Otherwise, I just have to be something much greater in my life. I always have to make sure I'm doing something positive. I have to live. I have to live. I have to live. You gotta live. You have to understand. I love Shannon Old song where he sings lift. You have to lift. You have to lift yourself. You have to understand. You have to find the courage within yourself to understand that you can live more. You can live more in grace, you can live more in the moments, you can do something very beautiful today, and your beautifulness must come out of you much more and more. So I write in my journal. I thank you very much. I thank you. I thank you, legend. I thank you. You guys have to understand, you have to be more legends. You have to understand, to be a legend is to give more ideas. You have to give more ideas every single day. You have to do something much more. You have to understand, you be something much more in life. You have to understand, you let people have photos of yourself. You let people have you in life. You have to let people, you have to understand, you let everything happen. You have to let it go. You have to understand, to let it go is to let God. You let God control everything. You have to understand, to trust something greater than you. There's always something greater in life. You let everything happen. I mean, let them kill you. I mean, let them harass you. I mean, let them punch you. I mean, let them chop your head off. You have to understand that Jesus let them kill him too. You have to understand, you just let go. You never fear anything. When you let go, there's no tension anymore. There's no tension when you're letting go. Just let go of your emotions. I mean, let go and let them attack you. I mean, let them kill you. I mean, let them. You just let them go. You just let go of everything. I promise you that when you fail, you let go with it. You let go of failure. You let go of being a failure. You let go of everything. I mean, I forgive myself. I forgive myself every day. I forgive myself for who I am. I realize that when I am in this moment, I realize that Jesus is here to lift me. I realize I'm always here too. I just let go too. I'm letting go because forgiveness. I have to forgive, I have to receive, and I have to give you more than I receive. I have to understand that there's always a greater way, and the greater way is you. You have to understand the greater way is you today. Otherwise, the greater way is you today. So you have to be more greatness today to have a greater you. You have to understand. You have to do something today to be more positive. You have to understand, to be cheerful in life is to be a public speaker today, and it's also to lead. I realize it's to do your passion too. You have to understand, you have to do something that's worth it. I realize that you're worth it today. You're still living, you're worth it. I promise you, you're worth it because you're still doing something that's worth it. I promise you have to go do what's worth it in life. You have to do what's going to be much more amazing. You have to be that kind of person, always doing something that's going to improve you. I promise you, that's why I'm successful, because guess what? I'm on the street, and guess what? I'm on the street public speaking and recording myself. I've got over 350 hours of video content, and I give it for free. I work for free. I never work for money. I've got over 25,000 courses in terms of my quotes. You can go read them all. I realize it's all ideas. I give you the ideas. I realize it's for free. You've got nothing to lose. I give you all these ideas, and you're going to be successful, because guess what? Then you understand my learning style, and you'll be here too. You'll be here on the street, public speaking too, because you've read from me and you've read my ideas. You'll be able to. I promise you, no matter what, you'll be a person who understands the information will get you public speaking too. I promise you have to be a public speaker. You have to understand to be communication. You have to understand that Jesus' communication is his passion. You have to understand, you make Jesus your passion today. You understand that Jesus is healthy. I promise you, Jesus is a vegan. I promise you, Jesus loves communication. You need to communicate. You need to let go. You have to let God. You have to understand to forgive yourself each and every single day, to do something worth it every single day. You have to always lift yourself and love yourself daily. You have to. You have to love yourself. You have to be someone that's worth it. You have to be worth it much more and more and more throughout time. You have to do something of communication today that's going to lift you. You have to understand, communication lifts you. I promise you that you are the 5 people you surround yourself with because of the communication. I promise you that's your habits too. I promise you that you have to study yourself. You have to study what's wrong and right. You have to understand. You have to study that. You have to study that there is no wrong and right in life. You have to study everything. You have to learn about what's wrong and right, because guess what? There's no wrong and right. You have to understand, it's really that you grow. You have to understand there is no wrong and right, because to be wrong and right is to be judgmental. You have to study what judgment is. You have to study each and every single word in the dictionary. You have to study each and every single aspect of your life. You have to understand that you have to understand to be self-aware every single day of your life. You have to live and improve yourself because it's worth it. I promise you, it's worth to live your life in a way that you've never done before. You have to understand, you have to be on TV. You have to be on TV doing something. You have to do something on TV. I need you to do your passion on TV. And you understand, you go do something today that you're passionate about. I mean, if there's something today that you can do for free, first you can do it on the street too. First you have to do it each and every single day. You have to do something that's worth it. You have to do something that's really going to help you. You have to do something that's really going to encourage your day. You have to be wisdom. You have to be a wisdom God. You have to understand, you have to do something really quickly. You have to do something really quickly to encourage. Because to encourage is to be in the moment. And when you're in the moment, you're going to understand more. You're going to be more. You're going to understand life itself. First, you have to understand yourself to study yourself. You have to understand that those people who understand my video are the ones who are learning right now. And guess what? You have to learn. You have to learn. You have to grow. You have to have more skills. Because each and every single time I talk and talk and talk, I make sure I walk the talk. I make sure I walk my talk too. I mean, every single time I talk something, I walk it too. I'm that kind of person who's in integrity. I realize that integrity is walking the talk. I realize many people talking it up and never walking it. You have to increase your courage. I realize that you can say you're a millionaire and then 10 years later you achieve it, please. I realize that you have to live up to it. You have to live up to what you say. You have to understand that your talk is how you look like today. You have to understand that your talk must be better. You must be better with your communication skills. You must be lifting. You must be regarding yourself as high morals. I've got high morals in life. I've got the highest strict ability to make sure I'm better. I'm always making sure I'm better. I'm always stuck on myself. I'm making sure that I have to be here on time. I have to make sure I'm here every single day to improve myself. I have to improve myself, I can then improve you. I can then improve you once I improve myself. I realize that I have to love myself first in order to love you. I realize that to love you is just to give you some information today to improve your life. I realize that's the communication, and that's all the sex in the world. I promise you, sex is communication. I promise you that sex is everything in terms of courage. You have to have courage. You have to understand to feel greater. You have to have more of a sex drive. You have to understand to get more of a sex drive is to have more energy, delayed gratification. I realize it's really that you understand that you never just have sex in terms of pleasure, and you should understand to have sex to have kids only. I promise you that means 14 times only. You have to understand you have only 14 times sex in your whole life. You have to understand you have more sex than Jesus. I promise you that no matter what, you're going to be a person who's going to study today, because guess what? The topic of discussion today is to be a better studier. You have to understand to be a better person and how to study is today's subject. So make sure that no matter what, you're learning to read today about audio and video and doing some writing today. I thank you very much. I realize that each and every time, you're always encouraging people to grow, you're being a better person, you're looking better, you're feeling better, and that's the whole deal. The deal breaker is freedom. The deal breaker is study yourself and learn about yourself and know thyself. You have to know yourself more. You have to do something more. You have to do something that you've never done. You have to go through your fears. You have to overcome your fears. I was a schizophrenic before. I was a drug addict before. And here I am. I've overcome schizophrenia. I've lost 47 kilos. I've overcome all my challenges. And here I am, overcoming myself every single day now. Well, that's my goal now, is just become better and become better and become better. I realize I'm never stopping. I've got nothing to stop for. You have to understand, I've got only to grow. I'm only growing, I'm only leading, I'm only doing something more today to realize that there is something greater that I can do today to make sure that no matter what happens, I'm always going to live. I'm always going to love. I'm always going to love more. I'm always going to never regret my life because I'm worth it. You also have to be worth it. You have to understand that communication is key and to be also studying each and every aspect of life. You have to study what you're drinking. And thank you very much. I thank you very much. I say you have to live today, you have to be positive. Also, happy birthday and make sure that you have some wisdom today to eat, because wisdom is knowledge. You need some more ideas today. You need to make sure that you're functioning better. You need to make sure that no matter what, you go with the high achievers today. You have to understand, it's always making sure that you're better. You have to be better all the time. You have to make sure that you understand that the world around you is inside. You have to understand that inside is key. You just look at yourself all day long. I say I love you all the time. I have a dream. I have a dream today to be a better person today. I have to be better because I feel worth it. I feel worth my life, to make sure I can give some knowledge today to improve my life, because I'm worth it and I'm always improving my ideas so I can do something greater. I have to be a greater person today, because to be greater is to have some personal development, and that's my course today. I realize it's to be greater today in how to study. You have to be that type of person. You have to be the type of person who's understanding to grow yourself. You have to grow yourself in positivity. You need some more knowledge. You need some more encouragement every single day. You have to be a person who's studying empathy, which is leadership. And you have to understand that leadership is going to lift you. You have to understand you have to be a positive role model, standing up here and leading the crowd. You always have to do that for yourself. You do it for something greater. You leave some room for improvement each and every single day. You're doing something very nice. You're being a nicer person throughout time. You're being a beautiful boy every single time. And you're being a baby throughout time. You're going to be a baby now. I thank you very much. I thank you very much. No matter what, make it yourself more and more whenever you need it. I realize no matter what, I always need more. I realize no matter what, you just be that person who understands that you have to be a baby now, and in 20 years' time, you have to be a baby. And in 80 years' time, you still have to be a baby. You have to stay a baby all the time because you were born recently and you have to always be reborn again. You have to be reborn again all the time. You have to do something very encouraging all the time. You have to be an encouraging person today. You have to understand you're still a person, although you're a baby. I mean, everybody considers themselves a baby over here. You have to understand it's really that we're babies. We're going to be babies forever. And that way we're going to be positive. We're going to do something of positive material today. We're going to understand that we're a gift. We've got everything we ever need. We're going to be something greater, and we have to just live. We have to make sure that we're watching TV in a better way, which is self-education today. Because when you're learning and studying how to live yourself much greater, you understand that I'm also recording myself. I have a video recording over here. I realize I make sure I record myself all the time. I make sure I'm doing something to speak something for nothing. I realize that I love you. I love you. I love you very much. I have a dream. I have a dream to be better than yesterday. I have to be better and better and better. You have to understand, to be better and to have more connection skills. You have to have more connection. You have to be a better person throughout time. You have to understand we're divine. I mean, we have something greater in life. You have to always have something greater. You have to feel greater. You have to do greater. And you have to live your life greater. Promise you, that's how to study. You study in a way, you're never depressed, and you're understanding freedom. Promise you, that's the way. Thank you very much. You have to understand that each and every single time, you're going to do something much greater, and you're going to love your life, because guess what? You only have one. Promise you, the one is you. Promise you, there's one face of you today. Promise you, have to make your face something big today. Promise you, you have to make big time. That's a big time. You have to be big time today. You have to be big time player today. You have to understand, you have to be big time. You have to be big time all the time. You have to understand, you have to do something very big. You have to be a big moments in your life. You have to understand, you have to have a big moment in your life, which is better than yesterday. You have to understand, you have to do something big time today. You have to understand, you have to be greater than you are. You have to understand, there's always something greater in you. There's always something greater than you can do. There's always something greater than you can do. You can do something much greater, and you can do it greater than now. You have to understand, you can do everything now. You can only do it now. You have to understand, now is freedom. Otherwise, you have to be more functional. You have to be more of something of interest, and that way you understand to be freedom in life. You have to understand that when other people need kids with you, you understand that no matter what, you get married first and then you have kids. Promise you that you never dive into having a kid without getting married, because that way you'll make a big mistake. I promise you that what is important is to delay sex as much as you can and have sex after marriage. I promise you that's the best way. I promise you it's about delaying gratification. I promise you that's the key. I promise you that's the key of long run aspects of life. I promise you the people who can throw long are the ones who can make sure they live up to 150. You have to live up to as much as you can. You have to live up to Noah. You have to understand, you have to live 800 years of age. You have to understand, you have to live more and more and more throughout time. You have to be more, you have to do more, you have to study everything in life. You have to understand there's always something more to do. You have to understand there's more in what you can do. You have to understand that whatever's important is up here. Understand? Whatever's important is up in this moment. You have to understand, you have to be up in life. You have to be a winner. I mean, never play poker. I never need you to play poker. I never need you to play the pokies machine to win $1,000. Because guess what? You may lose it too. You may lose the money, and guess what? Then you wasted 10 hours of your life. I mean, you wasted more than $1,000. Whereas that $1,000 is wisdom. You have to understand, the wisdom is all you need. You just need the wisdom. You don't need to play the pokies. You need wisdom. You need books. For sure, that's what you need. For sure, that's all the nice, beautiful information you ever need. For sure, it's about beautiful information today. You understand? You need something very encouraging today that's going to improve you, and that way you're going to be a person who learns how to study more and more throughout time. For sure, that's what your aspect of life must be. You must be that person who understands that you in action is going to help you. For sure, you in action stays. You must start your sentences with you all the time. You must be a person who looks better. You must do something that's really going to help you. You must understand there's a better way than how you look today. You must understand there is always a greater way. And thank you very much. I mean, whatever's happening today is positive. So make sure that you're always doing something that is going to help you. You have to be somebody who's always going to be somebody more than who you are. You have to be that kind of person. You have to understand that no matter what, when other people are negative with you, probably that's a reflection of them, and it's never you. Probably when you understand my communication skills, you understand positivity. You understand who can communicate today are the ones who are positive. I promise you need to communicate more and more each and every single day to understand positivity. I promise you that when I speak slow and I speak like this, I really do not know how to speak. I realize that I don't know how to speak now. Although guess what? I'm speaking much faster, and guess what? I'm really quick now. Because guess what? I've got your attention now. And as I've got your attention now, I have to speak much greater. I have to learn communication skills all the time. I have to learn how to speak within a video of 3 hours every single day. I have to practice and practice and practice and hit my beautiful pronunciation all the time. I have to understand, I have to pronunciate in a better way. I have to be precise in a better way. I have to be perfect in a better way. I have to understand I can always be a better way today. I realize that when you do something today, you're going to do it a better way. You're going to do something that's really worth it. You're going to do something that's really going to talk you up, and then you're going to live your talk today, because that's the key to studying life. And you should understand that you study life today through all aspects of life. You study with your heart. You study with your mindset. You study with your heart and your feelings. You have to understand your heart is everything. You have to understand that those people who understand wisdom are the ones who are absorbing every single particle and information of the surroundings with their emotions. Because you need to have more emotions. You have to have more feeling. Because more feeling means more sex drive. Because you need more sex drive. You need more high energy. Thank you very much. You have to be that kind of person who understands compliments. Because you need to smile at people. You need to understand there's always something better you can do. You can always have more energy. You can feel greater. You can do something greater. You can be highly energetic. And that's the whole point of high sex drive. Because it's just really being athletic. You're being a person who has the agility. You have the agility today. You be a person who's understanding to be a better person in the process. And you understand to fight is to fight for something greater. And you understand you never fight people and you never break people's legs like they do in the UFC. You do something for greater good and you fight for the greater good of life. That's no violence. You never need to do violence today. I need you to do something that's going to be worth it. I need you to understand that whatever you're doing today, you must be studying something. You must be studying something in life. You must be a researcher today. You must be uplifting yourself. You must be always studying how to live a better life. I need you to understand that it's either get better or worse from this point. You have to understand that you have to improve yourself. Promise you never be ashamed about where you are. Promise you that Jesus will lift you. Promise you that Jesus will find you everything in terms of life. You have to understand that Jesus believes in all of us. I need you to understand, you need to also believe in other people in something greater. You have to understand that to believe something greater, you have to believe in people to be greater. You have to understand, you believe in something greater in life. You only believe in something greater. I only believe in something greater today. I need you to understand, you have to believe yourself to be something greater. You're only talking about something greater. You have to understand that Jesus will always lift you, and you always make sure that you realize that you make sure that you understand that Jesus will never reject you. Promise the only way to live life is to believe in other people by growing them. You have to understand that's the only way. You have to understand that when you're growing other people, you're believing them in a way that you're growing them. Otherwise, you never fall for the tricks. You never fall for thoughts. Promise your thought is something to grow from. You have to understand you're full of thoughts from other people. You have to rotate them. You have to put them into audio. You have to understand to put them into audio in a different way. And as Tony Robbins says, change approach. And change approach. And change approach. And change approach. And change approach. You have to change your communication style. You have to change how you look today. You have to change your life and change where you live. You have to change how much money you have and how many courses you have and everything. Because it's never about the money, otherwise it's about freedom. I understand it's about courses. Otherwise, when you understand that it's never about the money, you'll understand that it's how many courses did you do today? Otherwise, how many courses did you teach today? Otherwise, that's something of interest. So I promise you, when you teach 1,000 courses or 1,000 hours about something, I promise you I'll come and be a student. I'll come and learn something from you. Otherwise, I'll be a student when you've got something to teach me. You understand that you have to do that every single day. You have to do something greater than yourself. You have to understand you have to be better. You have to understand there's no sympathy here. You have to lift yourself. You have to understand you lift yourself, you be greater. You do something really much more foundational than you are today, and be stronger. What is to be stronger is to communicate more. You have to communicate more, to study more. What is that? The best way I'm studying today is I make sure I come on the street here. I study people now. I study your reaction, I study her reaction, I study her reaction, I study her reaction, I study everybody's reaction about how they look and how they feel and what are they doing. I study people as I speak. Otherwise, that is my new study. Otherwise, I have to be here to do it. I have to do everything today and lift yourself. As I was saying, you lift yourself in a way, you're going to encourage people to lift, and that's the only way. I realize that you're never looking down, because to look down is to be sympathetic and to have sorrow. I never need you to have sorrow, I need you to live every single day, I need you to do something that's really positive, and that way you understand there's always more freedom in life. You understand there's always something more to do, and guess what? You always have to make sure that you're doing something much more to never be upset in life. I need you to understand, you go and do something freedom, you have to do something in freedom to make sure that you have to boost your communication skills in a way that you understand you can also be a rap person in a better way. You can rap yourself in a better way. You have to understand you can dance in a better way. You can do everything in a better way. Thank you very much. You have to understand that whatever you believe is negative is because you're negative. promise you that rapping is never negative unless you believe it so. You have to understand, you go and stay away from what's negative, and you go be a positive person today. Promise you that's the only way. Promise you go and rap because this is a rap. I promise you this is a rap because guess what? It's my communication style. I promise you it's my dance recital. I promise you it's also my symphony. I promise you here is my voice. I promise you I speak music only. I only speak instrumental music. I need you to understand I speak something great. I speak a tonality and a vocality. I promise you when you're listening to rap or any type of music theory, I need you to listen to the vocality. And is it a positive vocality today? I need you to understand to just listen to the vocals and better your life all the time. Thank you very much. And you should be that kind of person who understands that you thank people very much when they look at you. You have to understand, you go and do something very much more in your life so you can be very much more. You have to understand, you have to do something much more, and there's no correct way to speak. I realize there's no right and wrong way to speak. You're just speaking and speaking and speaking, and you'll find your way. I promise you. I promise you, that's the best way to speak. You get started today. You get started today because otherwise I'll never learn this if I was never here. I promise you, I have to be here to learn. I have to be here to grow. You have to grow yourself today. You have to understand, grow all the time. Understand, you have to grow yourself every single day because that's why we're here. I promise you, it's either you're growing or dying. I promise you need to learn skills to grow. I promise you need to read to grow. You need to grow like a tree. You have to grow all the time. You just go up. You just go up. You just go up. You just go up all the time and make sure no matter what, that every day you're going to study something of value. I need you to be around valuable people. I need you to be around people who can public speak because they can teach you some ideas today. I promise you, you've got the TED Talks today. I promise you, go be on the TED Talk yourself. You can be on the TED Talk. You can do something very much more in life. You have to understand, it's really about encouraging people. I promise you that now, since I've been speaking so much, I realize I'm going to speak much more because it's my passion. I realize I get passionate about my empathy and who I am because guess what? I study myself every day. I study about how to reflect. I study about how to do anything to make sure I have more energy. I realize that when I stay away from McDonald's, I also save 40 minutes. I save 40 minutes of my life. I realize I never have to go there anymore. I realize that I save some time there. I realize I stay away from all the meat in the world. I stay away from all the chocolates. I never have to go there in the supermarket anymore because I have more time freedom now. I realize I've found some more time freedom. So make sure no matter what, you always have more time freedom. You're never working for the money, you're working for freedom. You're doing something for free on the street. You're making sure that you're encouraging and you're doing your content while you have it. And you're practicing in front of people, 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 and eventually you will travel the world for free. I promise you that practice makes better. I promise you that you never become perfect. I never become perfect when I practice. I just become better than perfect. I'm always growing. I never strive to be perfect. I'm always better than perfect. I'm better than perfect because you never do perfect life scenarios. You do everything that's better than perfect. I promise you that when you're growing, you're perfect already. You're already perfect, or you need to grow. You have to understand you're perfect the way you are. You have to understand though that being perfect is a comfort zone. You have to understand you have to be more perfect. You have to grow more to be more perfect. You have to understand you have to be that kind of person who understands logic is now. You have to be that kind of person who understands that life happens now and to study life is to do it now. I mean, there's no other time to do it here. You have to understand the future is now and the past is now. So what you're doing today is learning yourself a big favor to make sure you come here and you do your own public speaking speech, and then you understand that there is always a better way than what you're doing. You can do it on the street to make sure no matter what, you work 24/7. You're working 24/7 to work on yourself. You're working yourself a better lifestyle. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to grow myself because I'm here to grow myself to become the best because I'm the best in life. I realize that you have to also be the best. You have to be something greater. Thank you very much. You have to always be something more in life. You have to always show yourself. You show yourself in a better way. I promise you, you're worth it. I promise you, you'll do something more today. I promise you, you're going to study everybody today. You're going to study people. You're going to be in front of people. You're going to understand that is the only way. I promise you, you have to learn as you go. You have to understand that it's really about encouragement and encouraging yourself to give more ideas because you give more ideas and you give more ideas. And that way you give more love and you give more love and you give more love because guess what? Ideas is love. And the more ideas you give, the more wisdom you give. And the more wisdom you give, the more love you give. So give more love today and you understand you have a better life. And you do it for free. I promise you that nobody will give you $1 to do this on the street. I promise you just come here and do it for free because you're worth more than $1. I promise you that when you have a book, you never price it, please, because guess what? It's about studying more results. You need more results today? Because guess what? I've been public speaking on the street for 39 hours. And guess what? Here I am today, once more. I'm always here to never regret my life because guess what? I'll always be lifting, I'll always be encouraging, I'll always be doing something more. I'm always a better attitude the inside. I'm always making sure that my tonality is much better. I'm always smiling, I always have to have a smile, I always have to make sure that I'm growing, I'm always listening to something greater in life. I'm always doing something greater. I'm always looking at myself in a greater aspect. Promotion, that's the best perspective in the world. Promotion, no matter what, that the perspective must be greater. Promotion, it must be something greater. You must have a great idea today. You must have something of greater value and greater interest. Promotion, something that is freedom. You need freedom today. You have to understand that no matter what, you need more freedom and more freedom and more freedom to understand you have to study more to get more freedom. You have to study more today to understand that there is a better way through studying. I'm not sure you can lose weight, you can do anything, you can become successful, you can have all the money in the world, you can public speak, because you need the information first. You need the information first, so thank you very much. You have to have the information first to grow up to be 200 years of age. You have to understand you need the information first. I promise you that if you don't learn the information, you'll never be successful. I promise you have to be more successful today, so make sure you have more information, you'll be more successful, I promise you. You need to be a public speaker, you'll learn how to be a public speaker while doing it. You do it first. You need the information. You have to get the information first. You have to understand to be on the street is to have the information to do so. Right, you're on the street now. You have the information. Although you have to understand that it's really kind of public speaking on the street too. Whereas now it's different. Whereas now we're talking. Whereas now we've got the attention, and now how are we going to boost attention? Whereas we're going to promote ourselves every single day. I need to have a plan every single day. I need to understand we need a plan because planning is study. I need to understand that when I'm planning my journal, I'm planning and planning and planning and planning. And what am I planning? I'm planning my life ahead. I'm studying my road. I have to see my road ahead. I have to plan it all down because if I do it in my head, I realize I lose. I have to write it down on paper. I have to write my thoughts down on paper. I realize I have my Pokedex phone over here. I've got a Pikachu Pokedex phone over here, which is my entrepreneurial phone. I record everything. I'm writing down everything now. I realize that I just write and write and write. I'm a producer of something. You're a producer of something. I need you to produce it on the street while you're doing a video. And then you sell the course for free. You do it for free all the time. You're doing it for freedom. Otherwise, I've got over 350 hours of content I'll give it to you for free. Otherwise, you just have to dedicate yourself. Whereas now, it's really up to you. Whereas that once I give you the knowledge, otherwise I've given you more love than you have me. You have to understand, I never expect love from you. You have to understand that I just really go for where the wisdom is, and I grow my wisdom today. And I do it by writing more, and writing more, and writing more materialistic aspects of thoughts into paper by giving you value to make some wisdom from all those materialistic thoughts. You have to understand, I'm never a materialistic person, although guess what, I use technology to give you the wisdom. I give you the wisdom today with my technology. I gave some money for this to give you the wisdom. I love the wisdom. I don't care about the technology, I care about what I can do with the technology to give you the wisdom today to help you succeed. Because that's the whole ideal. Probably that you need to understand that you need to also broaden your aspect of mind. And when you do that, you live in the feelings. You have to understand that feelings is everything, and those people who can speak are the ones who can breathe more also. When you're able to speak as fast as I can, you understand that you can also walk as fast as I can. You can do anything. You just have to learn it much more. You have to be better. You have to understand you can always do more than me. You can always do more than what I'm capable. You can always do more of what I'm capable of, which is greatness. You have to understand you can do more than greatness. You can do more than who you are today. You can always be a better public speaker today. You can always do something greater for yourself. You can always be something more. And guess what? Just woo yourself every day. You have to woo yourself every day, and you have to say you're greatness today. I'm greatness. I'm greatness. I'm greatness. You have to understand you have to call yourself greatness every single day. And never be upset and never look down. Because when you look down, you'll be down in life. I need you to be up in life. I need you to be an upper. I need you to understand to have an upper in life. I never need you to have the drugs. I need you to understand to be up in life. I need you to be an upbeat person. I need you to understand to be something of integrity and something that's really going to encourage you to have much more breathing capacity, and also to understand that what you're eating, also you have to read it. You have to read what you're eating, you have to study what you're eating every single day. You have to understand that veganism is also the best way to lose weight, and it's also the best way I've lost weight too. I've lost 47 kilos by being vegan. I'm vegan now for 20 months, and guess what? I'm having the time of my life. As I was saying, it's really worth it when you understand to listen more. You have to listen more, you have to listen more. You have to listen to what's being said that's positive. You have to determine who is positive and who is negative. And what information is positive and what information is negative. You have to understand to be around people who are better than yesterday. And you should understand, it's really worth it. I promise you, it's really worth it that you understand that you have to have encouragement every day. You have to do something every day that's going to encourage you. You have to lift yourself with your heart. You have to push yourself with your heart to really grow yourself. You have to intentionally grow as John C. Maxwell said. I realized that as John C. Maxwell said, you have to intentionally grow with ideas by writing them down. You have to write your ideas down every single day. You always have to lift yourself. You have to grow yourself. You have to be more than you are. You have to always do something more. You have to be better than you are. You have to understand there's always a better you today. You have to understand there's always more encouragement to do. You have to understand that the more you encourage, the better you are. Brosh, it's going to be worth it. Brosh, it's going to be something like walking tall. You have to be a person who's walking tall in life. I need you to look up all the time. You should understand to be that type of person who studies people and how they dress and everything about life and growth. I promise you, it's the best way. You just dive into books. I promise you, it's going to take you all your life. You have to understand that you need to go and grow and grow and grow. Invest your whole life into the journey of reading. You need to understand that reading is a lifelong journey. I promise you, it's a slow journey, although slow is also fast. You have to understand that most people are going fast and they're really learning. You should understand, I go slow, although I go really fast when I grow. You have to understand, I go really fast when I grow. You have to understand, you have to be a flower, you have to be a rose all the time. You have to grow to be a tree. You have to understand there's always a better way. You have to understand there's always something better you can do. There's always something better, so you understand that you stay away from the community and you go where nobody else goes. You understand, you go where Jesus will go. You go and relate your life with Jesus today. And you say, what would Jesus do if Jesus was living with me right now? You understand that Jesus is with you right now. And you can understand Jesus right now. And you can ask Jesus in terms of what would Jesus do right now. You understand you have to go and relate everything with Jesus. You understand you have to relate something with greater goodness. You have to be greater goodness in life. You have to understand there's always freedom in life. You have to understand there's always something better that you can do. And you should understand to let go of your emotions and be a person who understands to be free-falling. You're free-falling. You're flying with the eagles now. Because when you fly with the eagles, I promise you, there's no tension. You're just flying. You're being a person who's flying. Thank you. You have to be that type of person. You have to be that type of person who's always lifting yourself. You have to lift yourself, you have to grow yourself, you have to be something more positive. You have to understand that you can do it. You have greatness in you, you have happiness inside of you. You have to understand I've got over 350 hours of content inside my Instagram. You understand that positive knowledge will get you in a better place. You have to be more of a leader. You have to be more inspiring. You have to be more in life. You have to do better. Thank you very much. Well, that what you're doing better, you have to understand. You have to give people encouragement. You have to understand it's really about encouragement. You have to understand that it's really ask them, would you like the microphone? You have to understand, you have to ask people, would they like the microphone when they stop next to you? Because that way you understand to have a nice bit of a conversation with them. Because it's much better to have a conversation with people than to just encourage them. You have to understand, you go encourage them while you have a conversation with them, and that's even more. You have to understand, it's much more that you understand that you never limit yourself. Because if you never grow, your thoughts are going to be the same. So make sure you have better thoughts. You have better ways of dealing with life, which is just putting into video your life. You put your life story into video, you understand, you keep doing it, and you're going to also learn much more in the process. You learn more and more throughout time, the better you are. And the better you are is the more you grow. You have to grow yourself, you have to be in front of a crowd, you have to do it every single day, and you never look down on people, you only lift them up. You understand, you only lift people up, and that way you understand encouragement. You understand there is a better way. I promise you there is a better way today, and the better way is you today. I promise you the better way is you, and the better way you can do today is a better way. I understand the better way is grow. Grow today. I realize that growth is in the books. And when you understand vocabulary, you understand the dictionary, you have to make it your best friend. You have to grow your dictionary today. You have to understand the dictionary is everything. And dictionary is going to lift you. You have to understand the dictionary is everything that's going to give you vocabulary. You have to understand you go and grow with the dictionary today because only you can grow yourself. And you have to be that kind of person. You have to be that kind of person who understands. I have a friend over here as well. You understand, no matter what, you understand I'll never eat animals because I'm a vegan. I'm a vegan. I respect animals. You understand? You be that kind of person who respects the world more. You have to respect yourself more. You have to be kinder. You have to do something much greater. Thank you very much. You have to be that kind of person who understands there is always a better way. The better way is you today. You have to be greatness today. You have to understand there's always a better way in what you can do today. To understand you study everything. You study animals, you study information, you study what nutrition is, you study how you dress, you study what you are, because that's called self-awareness. And self-awareness is self-love. And you do it in a journal today. You go and write your words down, because then you can write a movie. You can write a movie about your life. I promise you it's worth it. I promise you. You can write anything about your life. I promise you can start today. You can do something today to really increase your odds of winning. But you need the odds, which is number one. You need to be a odd number today. I'm an odd number. I'm number one. You have to be number one too. I look at life in terms of number one or number two. I look at most of life and I see number two there. I see number two. So I realize I just stay away from number two. I go to number one. I realize that 1% of the world is number one. I realize every other number is number two. I don't care about the numbers. I go where the 1% of the world is. I realize you have to go there. You have to understand to be around number one people. And you understand that those people make a difference. And you have to make a difference, because that's also study. Because studying is also growing, and studying is also leadership. And everything to do with being a better person is called leadership and studying yourself to be greatness. You have to be greatness today. You have to understand greatness is in you. You have to understand encouraging is also studying. You have to encourage yourself every day to study more and more. Because that way you understand more information, and that way you understand more happiness too. You understand more and more throughout time. You'll be a better person for it, and you'll be something much greater than you are. You'll be something that's really worth it. You'll be something that's really going to help you to live. You have to understand that once I get started, I never stop. I never stop anyway. I realize I just grow. I just grow because I deserve to grow. I deserve to make sure that everybody else grows. Because guess what? You have to be smarter than ever. You have to understand that smartness is your new business today. You have to understand you have to be smarter throughout time. Because it's going to help you to grow. You understand that I'm a person who's drug free, and that's the way I realize that's the way I help my life to be smarter. Because I stay away from the drugs. I realize I'm a baby because of it. I'm always aging younger because I stay away from the drugs. I realize the drugs is never the solution. Actually, what's the solution is writing more. You have to write more, you have to be more, you have to do more, you have to look better throughout time. You have to always make sure you're happier throughout time. I realize it's really write your story down much more and more. You have to be that kind of person all the time. You have to understand it's really about writing a story and producing a story on video too. You have to do your video, you have to produce your video, you have to understand you have to produce everything that's quality, to make quality products. Of course, you need to be quality today and never quantity, because too many people are quantity and we need quality today. Of course, you need to understand we need more leaders today. I need you to step up, I need you to understand to step up in public speak too. I need you to understand to go do on the street and practice and practice and practice and practice and practice, and eventually 10 years down the road, you'll understand what I mean by long-term experience when you're traveling the world for free. Because I'm looking long-term. I'm looking long-term in life. I'm a long-term perspective. Thank you very much. I need you to understand, you go long-term, because that's delayed gratification today. You need to be a kind of person. You have to understand that freedom is in your heart today. You need to understand that freedom is now. So make your life more freedom today by studying more on how to do so. What you're doing today is your life. So study life itself. I want you to study everything. I need you to study people and their experience and culture and religion and Jesus and everything in terms of life. You have to study more to be more. You have to understand that studying is a way of life. And those people who study are always going to be better. I want you to have to study to be a public speaker. I want you to have to study each and every single time while I'm doing it too. I want you to pick up more results over time the more I'm public speaking on the street. I pick up results. I'm here for results. I'm only here for results. And that's why I'm here. So I get results. I realize that each and every time I get results, I've done more results than most people. And guess what? I'm the person who's always doing better than yesterday, because I'm never competing with people. I'm doing better than yesterday, and that's the whole point. Because the whole point is conquer yourself. Because you have to be a better version of yourself. I promise you it's easy. I promise you it's 5 years you can become a better version of yourself. In 5 years. I promise you 5 years you can become better than yourself. I promise you it's very easy. I promise you just have to dedicate yourself to reading. You have to dedicate yourself to studying more and more. And you'll understand more information is going to rotate you to become a richer person. I promise you that you're never called middle class, you're called a person who needs more wisdom. You understand, you just need more wisdom. There's no such thing as wisdom. I realized my video stopped because my phone died, and here I am. And I'm a person who has a beautiful portable charger to make sure that my technology keeps going so that I can give you more wisdom. I realize it's about studying today, so make sure you understand that I've already been doing it for the past hour. You can catch 2.5 hours of content I've already done today. You can find it on my Instagram at David Milivojevic. You understand I'm half Serbian and I'm half Croatian. I realize I'm born in Australia. I realize no matter what, I'm a person who has integrity. I realize that integrity is studying. And those people who understand studying are the ones who are really going to grow. I realize it's really, make sure no matter what, you're positive in the heart. And you understand that you never poison your heart with toxic chemicals like drugs and alcohol, which is a drug also. You understand that no matter what, you never solve anything with drugs today. You have to understand that I was schizophrenic and they gave me so many medications and it never solved my problems. I promise you. That I stay away from certain drugs, I stay away from certain food, and I lost weight and I overcame the barrier of schizophrenia. And guess what? If I never did, I'd be homeless today. I realized that I overcame my adversity. I realized that you can too. I realized that in order to understand how to overcome adversity today, you need to be a person who's studying today. You need to understand that to study is to overcome your adversity in your situation, in your circumstance, and who you are today. You can become better today through studying more and more and more information today. I promise you become richer like that. I promise you become something greater today, because you need to be richness. So be richness today with more information. I have to understand that no matter what you're doing, you're always a better person today, because that's how you study a better way. Understand, a better way is to do better and do better and do better. You're always going to motivate people, and that way I understand that you guys who are watching this video, I understand that I went over my hour here, although you understand I have another subject to go, and guys, no matter what, you guys can share me around, and you can share my content for free. I give my content for free, and I'll see you guys in the next video because I have another beautiful topic coming up.